Hello, great souls. Welcome to Yoga for Everybody, Chair Yoga Flow. Let's take a moment to center ourselves and just come into the physical body, come into the flow of the breath. Belly relaxed as you breathe in and out through the nose, and lift the gaze of the eyes just slightly upward above the horizon line, drawing energy towards the forehead. This is known as the 6th chakra, the spiritual eye. Yogananda called it the seat of superconsciousness, the doorway to infinity. So as you breathe, just feel yourself aligning energetically with your own highest truth. Bring awareness to your feet and feel them connected to the earth. And from the feet, just guide your awareness up through the physical body. If the hands are resting on the thighs, see if you can turn them upward into a receptive position, welcoming the flow of prana, life force, divine cosmic energy. 3 different words for the same reality: prana, life force, divine cosmic energy. Yogananda said we swim in a sea of cosmic energy, always available to renew the body cells, to awaken the flow of energy within, to recharge body, heart, and mind. Feel yourself just receiving this river of divine healing grace flowing through you with each breath. A river of boundless energy, infinite light, unlimited joy. One more deep, full breath. In and out. Let's bring the palms of the hands together to the heart center, affirming this inner reality of divinity within yourself and within all beings with namaste. Namaste. Okay, great souls. I was talking at just before class began today about working with computers and how challenging that can be for me. And I always feel that what helps me in yoga practice is just bring all of life in. So a friend was saying that her way of working with that is to just remember, just to admit, accept, Divine Mother, I don't know how to do this. I need your help. And then miraculously, the guidance comes of what to do next. So to me, part of the power of the yoga postures is really working with challenge when we feel challenged. So that centering is a way of calming the nervous system wherever we are, each one of us, as we come to practice today. Part of why we begin with centering is to give us conscious access to the flow of grace that's all around us and begin. That's what pranayama means, is to direct the flow of life force and energy. And to work with that, work with the body where it is, work with the mind where it is, work with the heart center. So I was feeling agitated, and because of yoga practice, I know in recognizing that, I can, come back into my body, come into my breath, lift the gaze here, and hold thoughts that are uplifting thoughts. And all of that releases tension, physical tension, emotional tension, mental tension. And that allows the flow of prana to move through me more freely. So just sharing that with you today, like, it just happened right before class. Something came up, I was trying to address it, I felt the tension and needed to release it in order to come into practice and to teach. So if that's helpful for you today, I offer that as well. Like working, as Yogananda said, all of this is a science. It's the art and science of yoga, and we are the laboratory, our own life. So just working with what is for you today, whatever that may be. Let's come up into standing for full yogic breath flow. So I'm going to move my chair to the side. And if you need chair for stability, you can face the chair and you have the back of the chair to hold. Yeah, I think I would do it that way. Leaning against doesn't feel as stable. So the full yogic breath flow is we inhale up and we expand back, slight arch in the spine, and exhale, come forward, surrender, release. When you're ready to inhale, you'll draw the hands up, expand, open, and exhale, surrender, release. And just imagine that with your movements, you're able to draw energy up through the body, offer it out to the universe, gather new energy in, and guide it down through the body, surrendering and offering it to the earth below. So drawing energy, guiding it through, offering it as a gift to the sky above you. Gathering new energy in, guiding it through the body as you exhale, surrender, and offering it to the earth below. One more time, we'll inhale up. And then exhale, arms around you. Very nice. This can be done seated in a chair as well. We'll bring the hands to the heart. So we'll inhale, fingers interlace and elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch tall. Exhale, as the arms come down, visualize light and joy surrounding you. Fingers interlace behind the back, stretch, release, and exhale. Be aware of your feet connected to the earth as you stand. So inhaling, so you're present to your whole body as you practice. Exhale out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch tall. Release and exhale, light and joy surround you. Fingers come behind the back. We inhale, release, and exhale. Palms together, hands at the heart. Very nice. We'll practice side-to-side stretching. So again, you can have the back of the chair for stability, support. We inhale. I like to step my feet just slightly apart. So we'll inhale, left arm up, lift and lengthen, and exhale over. If you want to use the chair for support, you can. And rotate the head to look up to the sky. A few deep breaths in. We'll inhale up and exhale down. If you're using the chair, an easy way, rather than moving the whole chair, is to just go to the other side. So I'm going to move my chair out a little bit. If you're not using the chair, then it's just nearby. Inhale up and exhale over. And we'll rotate the head and take a few breaths. Inhale up and exhale down. And I think what we'll do now is a few of side to side where we don't hold it. So inhale up, exhale, reach, inhale up, and exhale down. The flow movement helps to just gently warm up the muscles. So I alternate in my own practice. Sometimes I'll do the flow. It's a really nice way of easing into a stretch. And it lets you kind of know where your body is today, what's feeling right for you. And exhale. Very nice. Inhale up. And we've already held the stretch, so we won't do that this time. So now we'll come into a forward bend. And if you'd like, you can have the back of the chair for support. We lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. We exhale forward, pressing the hands on the thighs. Reach back with the tailbone and forward with the crown of the head. It's a nice stretch on the back of the legs that extends through the back. Breathing deeply. The affirmation for this pose is nothing on earth can hold me. We tune into a quality of inner buoyancy, of lightness and freedom. Now here, if you like, you can round the spine. Exhale, surrender, the arms come down, release the head and neck, hold the upper arms with the hands. The knees can be slightly bent if you like. Or you can be holding the back of the chair and stretching the spine that way. To come out of the pose, we walk towards the chair if you're holding it, or you roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Very nice. Come back to Tadasana and just pause for a moment. Beautiful. So let's come into our chair and we'll practice the royal pigeon pose, which is a nice hip opener. And we'll sit. One of the things I want to do is make sure my right leg is in a good position. So if I come forward, I feel stable. I take the left ankle and cross that over the right thigh. Lift and lengthen. And I'm really listening for how the muscles in the leg are feeling this stretch, where I'm noticing it. Oftentimes I notice it primarily in the hip. Today I can feel it in the thigh. I don't know if I feel it more there than in the hip, but the practice here is to be awake and present. And then I often like to, when I'm practicing a pose, close my eyes if I feel stable, so I can really begin to listen more subtly, not only to the physical experience, but the flow of energy and the flow of breath as it moves through the body. Always lifting the inward gaze towards the spiritual eye. The affirmation for this pose is, I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. The palms of the hands can be together, resting on the calf, lifting and lengthening. And you lead, if you come forward in your seat, you're leading with the heart center. And you're listening to the body and letting the body guide you. Focusing mostly on relaxation here. The position of the legs is already working the muscles, usually. So if you're not quite feeling a stretch, then you do come forward until you do. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. And if you like, you can open the hands into a receptive position, and here, if it feels comfortable, release the head and neck. And sometimes I do find I come a little further in my seat when I do that. Deep, full breaths in and out. And then we'll inhale up and uncross the leg. Shift in the seat if you need, and just pause for a moment. See if you can feel a sense of release in the body. A surge of energy flowing through the body. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. Okay, so we'll go to the other side. I'm going to turn my chair to the side to give you that view. It can be helpful to kind of see it from different positions. So my back is away from the chair. I take the right leg and cross it over the left now. And I take a moment to just get stable in the seat. And I try to relax, shoulders down from the ears, torso, just relaxed. And I can feel the stretch here in my hip, and it just kind of comes through. And I'm consciously just doing my best to have a relaxed breath and relaxed mind. So by saying the affirmation mentally in a relaxed way, all these things help the body release tension. Again, palms of the hands can be together on the calf. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. So just listening to your body, being aware of the flow of breath, allowing the body to gently come forward as it feels to. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. If you like, you can open the palms if that brings you forward a little bit more. Just moving slowly and carefully, release the head and neck. Then inhale up, uncross the leg, and sit for a moment with palms turned upward. This is Vajrasana, the firm pose. We just take a moment to be stable in our seat. Vajrasana in the chair or on the floor, but in the chair, often utilized for meditation. So just see if you can kind of sense an inner calmness, an inner stillness and strength here. The affirmation for this pose: in stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. We'll inhale fully and deeply, and exhale, release. Very nice. So I want to show you seated Balasana. This is child's pose. And one of the ways to practice child's pose is to have a bolster or blankets in front of you, or both. You can have bolster and blankets. If I'm using the bolster, I usually bring my legs into a wide stance so I can bring the chair closer. And then I'm kind of looking at the height, right, and asking myself, is this a good height? I think for me, I would probably do better. And, you know, every day is different. So if I bring a couple of blankets up, let me take a look at that. That seems kind of nice for support. And so you might be able to see here how my spine is fairly straight. And it's still a forward bend, and I'm relaxing. And then if I like, I can come a little closer and turn my head to the side one way and then the other. And some of the other things I play with is the position of my feet, in or out. So I kind of notice, well, what feels most relaxing? This is supported Balasana. So if you're practicing at home, just notice, you know, is it a nice, gentle stretch for the spine? And I'm kind of leaning against the microphone, so hopefully you can hear okay. And then we'll go to the other side. And then we'll inhale and come back up. Very nice. So we're going to practice Balasana again, but I just wanted to kind of give you that for the chair first. We'll come into Ustrasana, the camel pose, and then from Ustrasana we'll come into Balasana. So in the chair, if I'm practicing, I have my legs are not in a wide stance. They come together. And you play a little bit with the position of your chair. So probably for me, I would back up a little bit. Just I want to have a little bit more room. I find it easier to draw the front chair forward, and if I'm backing up to do what I just did, kind of get up and move the chair back. So Ustrasana in the chair, the hands are either here or they come back. And so that changes the position of the spine. So if they're back, then I'm leaning forward with the heart, and I look up just slightly. My legs are fairly relaxed here. Most of what's happening in this pose in the chair is in the torso and in the back, the arms and the shoulders. And then to come out of the pose, I release, and I let the arms rest on the thighs. And if I'm coming into Balasana again, I'd either scoot the back chair up or draw the front chair forward and exhale forward and use this for Balasana. So I wanted to show you that first because I'm now going to show you the two poses using the chair but on the floor. So to come down onto the floor with a chair support, I place my hands on the chair and I bring the knees down. And then I walk around with the chair here for stability. The same thing coming up is that I face the chair, hands are here, one leg at a time. I'll use this to come up. That's one of the, excuse me, pardon me. That's one of the safest ways to come up and down on the floor with support. So hands on the chair, one knee down and then the other. And then I walk around. So for practicing Ustrasana on the floor, I'm going to show you that. And then I'll practice traditional Balasana. So I'm going to move my chair back a little bit so I don't bump into the front one. So here, what I do is I begin to walk my knees away from the chair. And you can see my hands are pretty close to the top. Now, by doing this, I'm going to be engaging my legs a bit more than I was. And now I'm going to slide my hands down the seat, down the legs of the chair as I come forward. Not very far. And I'm able to kind of basically lean back towards the seat. But again, not too far, lifting the heart to the sky. So this is another way to practice Ustrasana with the support of a chair. And it engages the legs more than if we were seated in the chair. Stretching the front of the thighs, extends all the way through the front of the body, the arms and shoulders, and the back is also in a graceful arch. And I'm just looking up towards the sky. I haven't dropped my head. The neck is in fairly neutral position. The affirmation with calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. A few more deep breaths. To come out, I release my hands from the chair. I come to neutral. I bring the buttocks down towards the heels. And if I'm in the chair or on the floor, I want to take a moment to just stay in Vajrasana because the energy awakens quite strongly in the camel pose, Ustrasana. And it's nice to give it a moment to rise up the spine and come towards the spiritual eye. You might imagine yourself flooded in light, divine healing light. The affirmation with calm faith, I open to thy light. Relax the body, relax the breath, and calm faith, I open to thy light. When you feel ready, we'll come into Balasana. So on the floor, your hands can be in front of you or behind you. If you're using the chair and the bolster, the arms are out to the side. So on the floor, I exhale, I lay the torso across my thighs, I release the forehead towards the floor.
breathing deeply the affirmation, I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. If you're using the bolster and your head is at one side, just make sure you balance the stretch on the neck by going to the other side. And when you're ready, you'll inhale back to Vajrasana, palms resting on the tops of the thighs, either on the floor or in the chair. With calm faith, I open to thy light. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. Very nice. Let's close seated, practicing the full yogic breath flow and circle of light, circle of joy. So we'll inhale, arms up, just a graceful arch in the spine back. And exhale down, hands flow in front of you, surrender, release. Following the flow of your breath, your hands will come up. Expand back. Now you can always hold either position if you like, if that feels good for your body. If you do hold it, make sure not to hold the breath. Same thing coming forward if you want is fine. Surrender, release. Very nice. Exhale down. And the next time that you come up, we'll inhale, exhale, arms around. We'll bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, fingers interlace, elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch tall. Release and exhale, arms come down. Here I often bring my hands just back to the chair rather than trying to interlace them, because I could bump into the back of the chair that way. And then exhale, arms to the front and back to the heart. Very nice. So let's bring the hands down to the thighs and just pause for a moment and notice how the body's feeling. Notice the heart center. Notice the mind. We'll close with the affirmation, I rise above all thought of past and future, into the eternal now. I rise above all thought of past and future, into the eternal now. Palms to the heart center, honoring that divine light within you and all beings with namaste. Namaste. Okay, great souls, let's send out light. Light and blessing. We'll raise the hands. Feel yourself as a channel of divine light, blessing the world with 3 ohms. Om. 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 Peace. Amen. Okay, great to be with you today. Wishing you many blessings today and always.